Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Insecticon Bombshell. And here he is, and I will already say that I do have a slight problem with him with the way that this head thing is positioned because of the fact you can kind of move it out of the way. God, he's bald. But anyway, you can kind of move it out of the way and have it look like it's like pointing up. I don't know how this thing is supposed to go, but it has like clicking points. Like it has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then obviously clicks into place down there as well. But we're not going to do that because that is needed. But anyway, the head thing is something that I'm a little bit confused about. But overall, I think he actually looks really good. Look at the Hades-styled like face that he has. He kind of has like a Hades-styled face, you know, from like God of War, which I actually think is really cool. You got the nice red eyes. You got the yellow here on this thing as well. Very nicely painted silver. You got the purple and yellow here to break each other up. And also you got the nice little bug arms here on the side as well. And you got the nice arms here. Then you got the nice legs. Look at the legs. Look at the legs. Look at the side with the red and white stripe. Or is it red and silver? I don't know. And then some blue here on the back, just when you thought he was done showing you his true colors. He shows you a wee bit of blue as well, so very nice, also very compact because it is an Insecticon after all. These things are not the most difficult to transform. Now this is not my first foray in the Bombshell guy because I already own the other one as well. That being the Combiner Wars one, I think actually it was, which obviously will be used for comparison later on. But I will say that this guy kind of just knocks that guy straight out of the water because I think this guy looks actually really cool. But that's not all you get because you get this weapon. Technically it's 3 weapons, so let's pull them apart. But this way I know which weapon is which if I just combine them and don't lose them, you know. But anyway, we got these 2 little pistols as well, which look a little bit weird. And he can actually hold in his hand if you want to. I don't know why, it kind of looks a bit dumb though. And then also he comes with this nice silver gun that you love to see. Look at that nice silver gun with like the 2 things up there that he can hold into his hand. And what I personally just like to do, as you have already potentially seen, is this. Combine the 3 of them into a bigger gun in order to shoot Autobots or Dinobots. Potentially, I don't know. I don't know how daring we are today, good old Bombshell, but are you daring enough in order to fight against the power of a Dinobot or not? But anyway, there you go. So then let's move straight into the next segment then, which is articulation. So obviously, like I said, this thing can move all the way around. You also have this thing that is a little bit ratcheted, and if you move it out of the way, you can actually... Oh, no, wait. You can actually rotate the head with the thing in as well. This is actually very nice. It allows me to rotate the head as well. Then after that, with the arms, you can rotate them all the way around. You can get them in and out as well. And it does not really break up the flow with these little arms as well. Then you also have a swivel and an elbow joint and an in and out for the fisting. Once again, we got one of that situation going on. So, no wrist rotation. But a waist, we do have. We got a waist rotation. We got legs go forward and they can go back. They can go in and out, they can rotate, and they can have a little bit of a bend that once again, just like shrapnel, clicks into place. Forgot if Kickback does that one, but to be honest, it's been about a month since I recorded that review, so I have no idea. And then also you got a wee bit of ankle tilt as well. Very nice. Overall, I think that this guy has some good articulation. He's got the standard stuff, you know, nothing special, no butterfly joints, no like ab crunch or anything. It just has the standard stuff. And sometimes standard is all you need. So then let us move then straight into the next segment, which is CS comparison, obviously, and let's bring in the squad. You know, this might be a kind of a stupid question, but out of these 3, which one's the leader? I always thought it was Shrapnel, but I am not sure about that one at all, but it might actually be Shrapnel, because like Bombshell is the brute and Kickback is the stutterer, if I remember correctly. So we can't have a leader that stutters, okay? Leaders need to inspire the troops. You can't inspire the troops in half an hour because it takes that long to make a sentence, okay? Does not work, so it has to be Shrapnel that is the leader, unless he's the one that stutters, at which point it would be Kickback. But anyway, here they are together, looking very nice, and I also forgot that I was gonna do the first size comparison differently, but we can do that one next anyway. But he looks great with them, so then let's go into the one that I wanted to do first. Obviously, that being the littler one. And look at this. This would not have scaled with the other 2. But here, they are together, and man, the new one just looks a lot better. However, I will say that the darker yellow to orange, I guess, I like that more than the yellow that they chose for the actual figure. But outside of that, I think the new one is fantastic. And also, this is what I meant with the head thing. Like, this is how it's supposed to go on this little guy. But then this one, like, you have to actually, like, move this backwards and stuff like that, like this. And it looks kind of weird. Like, with this one, it works because it still covers up his head. But here, it's just, like, behind his head. So you're kind of supposed to do it like that. But then when you do it like this, you can't really have the thing pointed up. So I guess you're just supposed to point it down. But that's the only thing that I find weird. But overall, the new one blows the other one out the water. So the next one, obviously, that is Galvatron and Starscream, looking very nice alongside Bombshell, or as he's called, for probably copyright reasons, just like Ratchet would be for copyright reason, Insecticon Bombshell. But he looks very good alongside the two of these. So then the finale ones. So here we got Shockwave and Soundwave, boys. Yes, indeed, looking very nice alongside Bombshell as well. Man, this just makes me happy because it's just that step closer to completing everything. But it's gonna take me so long to complete everything because there were so many characters in Generation 1. Anyway, let's get them out of here. Pull you in a bit closer and let's get into that transformation. So let's get Hades or Bombshell in his bug mode, and he is actually the most complex one out of the three. So what you want to start off with is you want to fold in the hands, obviously. Afterwards, what you want to do is you want to come here to the back and actually rotate these backwards and click them in, and then also make sure that the holes are at the top. That is for later, but we'll get that done right now, like so. Afterwards, what you want to do is you want to take this and rotate this down. However, there's a little bit of a problem here, and that is the fact that, as you can see, this whole top section here is painted, and you gotta force it into that hole. So eventually that is going to cause some paint chipping, I can guarantee you that one. Afterwards, you rotate around the waist, and then you fold the feet down as you do with shrapnel. Open up the leg pieces right here. Also tab the legs together as you do. Afterwards, you want to rotate this up and around. Come on. It's always a bit annoying when one of them gets a bit stuck. Like so. Also, I forgot the little tabs there. I haven't transformed this guy much, but you can do the little tabs in there. And afterwards, like I said, you got the side tab here that goes to a slot in there. But also you got this tiny little tab here that goes into the leg as well. So you basically want to take this and tab it in. The leg one is probably the one that is the main one to attach it to. There you go. Do the same thing on the other side, just like so. I hope it doesn't untab, because these, yeah, it's not necessarily the most secure connection. But I guess here we have good old Bombshell in his bug mode. So here we have Bombshell in his insect mode, and yeah, I like it. Kind of, okay? Now also what I've seen people do, which I want to talk about immediately, is actually, let me get this off of his gun, which I kind of forgot to do that, is the fact that, I don't know if this is how it's supposed to go, but yeah. As you can see, he doesn't necessarily have back legs, so we're gonna just put the weapons on here and use them as the back legs in that sense, like so. Also, these arms do not like to tab in for me perfectly, but anyway, here we go. We got like the back legs, but I saw some people do that. There you go. Flip the feet fully up. But anyway, I saw people do that, so I just thought we were gonna do that. So that's your weapon storage right there for those little guns. But anyway, this thing actually doesn't look all that bad. To be honest, I have some difficulty figuring out which one is actually my favorite of the Insecticon's insect mood. But I think I'll give it to Shrapnel, because this guy still has the annoyance of the arms being like they're kind of sitting at an angle, as you can see. So that's a little bit annoying. So I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but like it does not want to really work all that well, and it just annoys me. So I will give Shrapnel the medal of being the best of the Insecticons, but this guy still isn't really all that bad. I like the huge back that he has. Very accurate to the G1 cartoon, if I remember correctly. My only real question is, how do these things fly? Because they don't really have any wings, though. But whatever, doesn't matter. But overall, he looks very nice. Let's look in closer here. We got the nice little like pew pew thing that he has. Head is hidden in there. We have the nice like stuff here. But we also have the gigantic yellow eyes that these animals, I guess, have. And also we got the nice back section here as well. Look at that. This kind of looks a bit like the animal that maybe Heracross is based off of. So we have like Pinsir and Heracross. But anyway, still not all that bad looking. And here, this is what I was talking about in Shrapnel. Hopefully I will upload Shrapnel before this idiot. But anyway, with Shrapnel, I was talking about how the feet were purple and it stuck out. Here, they're black, so they stick out a lot less. I also do like the creativity a little bit, if this was intentional, of having like the guns form part of the legs as well in that sense. A little bit creative as well. And here he is from the bottom, and here he is top, so up from the bottom. Actually, bottom from the up, I don't know. Technically, up from the bottom means you go bottom first and then you go up, right? So, whatever. I tried to be clever and I confused myself, instantly ruining the whole cleverness. But anyway, articulation-wise, we don't really have much. I mean, this can go down and up. You got like a little bit of articulation here on the legs. And after that, you get this. So let's do the weapon storage then, which obviously you got the two big things here. So obviously, you can just plug it in there, because outside of that, there's not really any other place where these things can store, I don't think. So, yeah, but this thing looks ridiculous, so move it out of the way. So let's get straight then into size comparison. Starting off here, we have him next to his older self that I own as well, and that I actually quickly transformed while I was also talking about this guy. Yes, indeed. I did a little bit of behind-the-scenes transformation. And to be honest, which one of these two do I like more? Well, this thing looks more like an insect, to be honest, with all the legs. However, this looks more like G1. So I will give it to this one for its accuracy. But both of these are actually pretty cool, but the thing is that this idiot just does not scale with the other two. And Shrapnel does not scale with the two that I had. This is why I had to get all three of them again. But overall, looking very nice. So let's get the squad together. Here we got the whole squad, boys. We got the whole squad together, looking very nice together. Big fan to have all of them. We got Heracross and Pinsir, and then I don't know. Lurantis? I got nothing. I don't know. I just, the first Pokemon that I thought of can't even fly. I don't know. I will say Beedrill and call it a day, but definitely not Beedrill, but I don't know. Anyway, they all look very nice together, so let's get them out of here. To bring in the leaders, boys. Yes, indeed. And he looks really good with these other two as well. Still, by the time of recording this idiot, and technically also this one, I do not have 86 Megatron, so don't come asking me about that guy. I do not own him. Maybe even by the time that I upload this, I still don't own him. But I don't know about that. But that is future stuff to deal with. So just wanted to mention that. Let's move you out of the way. Put in you. Hello, Kit. Once again, Kit here for the size comparison. And he looks really big with the bug, but also really small next to the bug, because the bug is huge. Man, what would Michael say if this were to happen? Kit, arrive! There's a big bug on top of us. So let's get you out of here, and then let's bring in the last ones, obviously. Shockwave and Soundwave right here. And this is what he looks like with them, and to be honest, all of these guys look ridiculous, because none of them are supposed to be this big, but I don't care. I love them all together. So let's get you out of here. Pull you in closer, and let's get into that reverse transformation. So let's get Bombshell back into his robotic mood. So what you want to start off with, you want to untap the arms, if they even tapped in at all, and rotate them up and out just to get them a bit out of the way. After that, what you want to do is you want to do it from in here, and then double hinge these bad boys back around like you are supposed to. Close these pieces here back up. Also split this, but why? There you go. Make sure also that, let me just do it in here, there's a gap in here, and there's a tab here that goes into that gap. Make sure that that is lined up, because that is kind of the stuff that holds everything together for the knee articulation. Then fold the feet out like so. There we go. Also, I do not know what is wrong here with this leg. This leg is kind of annoying me a little bit. There you go. That's a bit better. It was a little bit problematic, as you could say. Then rotate out the... Oh, I like how actually the eye disappears. I didn't actually notice that earlier, but now I do. But anyway, rotate that out. Afterwards, rotate this... untab it and rotate it up until so, and then fold this bad boy forward like so. And then afterwards, the finishing touch shall be pulling out the hands, boys. Pull out the hands like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull out the hands like so, and then also rotate the waist around. And here we have Bombshell back into his robotic mode. So, final thoughts on Bombshell. I like him. I do. Overall, I think he is actually fun, and to be honest, the arms not being able to peg in is not necessarily that big of a deal breaker, because everything will still sit in its place. It's not like the arms go flopping about if you do not have them perfectly tapped in, but it is a little bit of an annoyance. And to be honest, this guy will look absolutely fantastic on your Insecticon shelf if you have Shrapnel and also Kickback. And while I do believe that Kickback is absolutely the worst of the three, I still like it enough, but this guy is actually a lot better. And to be honest, transformation wise, outside of, the arm packing in, this guy actually does the most interesting stuff with the transformation, and I respect that as well. Now, it's not anything groundbreaking or anything, but he's the most involved of the transformations out of all of the Insecticons. I'll just say that. So would I recommend him? Yeah, sure. But also, this was Legacy Evolution, which was like 10 years ago or something like that. So, I don't know, man. If you can find him for a good price, I would recommend him, but I don't really know if you actually can. But let's just say Deluxe class price point is where I would recommend him. But that has been my review of Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Insecticon Bombshell. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!